Good evening, everyone. I'm Colonel Subhajeet Naha. Okay, I have uh, almost, I'll say, 30 odd years of experience in the complete IT and security domains. It's all started in way back in 1994, I will say. Okay, when I started experimenting with, that was the first time I got access to a computer and email systems. 94, way back in 94, right? The first time I mailed, I was very intrigued. Okay, by 1999 I had finished my bachelor's degree in chemistry as majors, but still I was doing a lot of computing work. Then also I was plotting Maxwell equations on graph, and we were doing a lot of work on MATLAB. uh, and that is when actually I started, we started exploring, how to build a virus and, PKI solutions, symmetric security solution implementation. So 96 to 99 was a very, booming sector in India as far as IT is concerned. After that, I went to Army, and uh, in 2000, I went to Army, and I joined the engineering stream, that is the core of signals, which was responsible for all the network operations for the Indian Army. And at that point in time, probably we were the first ones in the country to, outlay an IP-MPLS network way back in 2003. Okay, at that time, even the ISPs didn't have IP-MPLS networks. So we laid down IP-MPLS networks over Nortel switches, and that is the first time I actually saw a firewall, a Cisco 2600 series firewall, right? I got my CCNA then. To execute this project, I came back to Delhi on leave. I did the CCNA course, and from there my security journey actually started. Actually, network journey started, and once you go into networks, security becomes part of it. Started putting firewalls. I started getting into application development. Army made me do a BTech, and in the BTech, I created a secure mailing system, solution. From there, my journey started into security, and somewhere around 2011-12, the Army started having its own governance and risk compliance management program. And from there, I was involved in developing the cybersecurity policies and information security management frameworks, how to implement. And next 10 years, we were able to have a very good governance and risk management and compliance framework implemented in the Army. And I had a lot of interaction with the foreign armies and the corporate world. Cisco was a very major interaction. With Wipro, we had a lot of interaction. With TCS, we had a lot of interaction, right? Then I commanded my unit from 2018 to 2021, wherein we were deployed against the Chinese borders up front north. We were responsible for laying the edge networks, right? Security was very important because APTs were consistently trying to, find the Indian Army has a segmented network, right? It doesn't have a segregated, it has a segmented, it has its own network. But still, there are ways and means to penetrate even segmented networks, okay? So after that, I came to Delhi, put up my papers, and jumped into the corporate world. Tried my stint at working under people. Probably I was not meant for it. I thought, let me start my own jig. Started training people way back 2 years back. Always had a passion for training because I was an assistant professor in Indian Army, also in our college. So started doing free work, and then thought, okay, let's make a small business out of it. Started teaching people, understood the importance of CISSP for all IT and InfoSec professionals, right? Now into three verticals. One is the EdTech vertical, which I started, but I only train and teach. I am not related to the EdTech vertical. It is managed by people. Second is where my core expertise lies. Is we are producing a in-house endpoint detection and response system, which can be deployed in any manner you would like to, along with an MDM solution. And we are also into cybersecurity managed services. Okay, so this is my startup journey post my retirement from Indian Army. Right now, I'll come to explain, CISSP. Now, I don't do slide warfare. I don't like slides are there to assist. Slides cannot be, I don't read from slides. I don't teach from slides. I do blackboarding. I love blackboarding, and the only way I could blackboard is on my iPad, right? So if you guys, but still, I will go back to, so that I don't go haywire, I don't miss the track. So I will definitely go back to the slides from time to time, right? So how do we, what is CISSP, right? Now I will go to my, I will suppress everything else and start teaching from my blackboarding, right? So what is CISSP? So firstly, CISSP is, just let me know if the color choice of colors is bad. I will stick to some dark colors, right? Okay, so what is CISSP? Right, it is certified information. Please be very, very careful. Information systems. Okay, it is information systems. It is not cyber or IT or cloud systems. It is information systems. Does it mean that it is related to IT? It may be. Why? Because your information today rides on IT networks, right? So somewhere networks become part of your overall information process. Okay, so it is certified information systems security professional, right? So firstly, you have to understand what is information systems. Now, if you look at information, right, we will go back to evolution of human systems. So once human beings evolved, right, they had the capacity to ingest certain kind of data by observation, okay, by tasting, by hearing, by listening, okay. And the human mind was capable of processing these inputs, and storing it inside the human brain. And when we evolved, we were able to provide this, whatever our sensory uh, feelings were, we were able to communicate with other human beings. Okay. And there the first time took the exchange of information. Okay. So information is a very, very, billions of years old process, right? So from where did the concept of information security actually started, right? It will probably would have started from the point when human beings started fighting each other. Okay. When human beings started fighting each other, you started protecting information about what is your strength, how are the battles being fought, when are the battles going to be fought. So in human beings started protecting information, okay, from each other. Okay. Now, the concept of information security goes back thousands of years. Okay. It's got nothing to do with IT. Okay. Now, once we look at prehistoric times, or historic times, we would probably use, so when human beings started writing, okay, and you want to deliver this message to your front end armies, right, who are going to attack. So you would probably roll it in a piece of paper and create a small roll and give it to a messenger who will ride over the horse, okay, who will ride over the horse, right, and deliver the message to your front end army, right? But if you want to capture this information, you could probably ambush this person, right? When he was riding through the jungles, you could probably get hold of him and get this information. Okay. So what could this kind of an attack be called? In today's parlance, it could be called man in the middle attack. Okay. What is a man in the middle attack? Somebody came, stole your information. In the historic times, they would probably get down to swords, fight each other, and take that information. But today, over a period of time, what has happened is human beings have evolved and they now have a data network, right? which is riding over, millions of routers, okay? And your packets are riding from an application which is on your desktop or a laptop to somebody else's laptop, right? In between, there are multiple devices which will come, okay, to send this information from place A to place B. But at the end of the day, the concepts which were applicable maybe thousands of years back to protect the information will remain the same. Somebody will try to attack this network, do a man-in-the-middle attack, okay, and try to steal this information. And what will be the defenders doing? They will try to protect this information by some kind of protection measures, right? So CISSP is going to test you on your security mindset. It is going to test you on your, it is going to test you for your security mindset. It is not going to test you on your technical knowledge. Technical knowledge is, I will say, just 10% of the overall gamut of CISSP, right? It's majorly to do with your security mindset and how you, there's an input of a little bit of technology, which is going to be IT oriented, because today majority of systems, they communicate using IT networks and IT-based applications. So they use networks, they use hardware, they use software to make it possible for your information to be exchanged over this, IT network. And that's why the security mindset takes into consideration all these factors, how you apply to a given situation. And no matter of practice questions, dumps, whosoever call can make you pass your CISSP exam, unless you are conceptually very, very clear. And that is what I do. I try to clear out your concepts, right? That is my aim. And that's what I try to do. Now, CISSP, once you look at it as an exam, most of you will now be applying after the 15th April 2024. That means you're going into the next phase of CISSP exam, that is 2024 to 2027. Okay. I have seen almost 3 changes. Okay. In last 9 years, I've seen 3 changes. And to be frank, nothing changed. What happened was, whatever evolution took place in last 3 years, they added bits and pieces. They never removed what was there, probably even 20 years back. It's still continuing. The pages just get a little bit thicker, right? So whatever topics are added are not some very great changes. It is partial changes which took place, and they are just a little bit of add-ons, right? So it's now going to be a 150 questions exam, right? It's going to be 150 questions exam, and it's a adaptive exam. What do you mean by adaptive exam? So I guess it's an AI ML based exam. Okay, the engine is running, and initially it throws you few questions and tries to set a baseline to understand whether your concepts are clear. And the moment it finds your weakness, okay, the moment it finds your weakness, it tries to throw questions around this weakness, okay, to see whether you're conceptually clear or not. So the question changes its pattern based on your preparation, your conceptual, and your level of expertise in applying the CISSP mindset to the given situation, right? My recommended, so how I recommend you to prepare, okay? Everybody has their own preparation cycle. This is my recommendation, okay? I follow CIBEX 9th edition. We are waiting 10th edition. It's still not come. We'll wait for the 10th edition to come. Okay, 10th edition should be there in next 6 months. Okay. 9th edition is more than enough. Whatever topics have been added, I will add it into the curriculum. I've already added it, and I'll be covering those additional topics which have been added into the CISSP 2024 curriculum. Okay, we'll stick to CyBEX 9th edition for now till such time CyBEX 10th edition comes into print. Okay, that is the first part. Okay, now CISSP is called a 36,000 feet view. Why? What is 36,000 feet view? 36,000 feet is actually Earth's geosynchronous orbit. That means you get a complete view of the Earth's visible section. Okay. So what happens is you are supposed to have view of everything, but on a very, very cursory level. You do not deep dive. Because we have already deep dived, right? Somebody is a network security specialist, somebody is a GRC specialist. We've already done our deep diving. The aim of CISSP is to give you this broad brush knowledge. Okay. So there is security mindset at the top. Develop the security mindset. Okay. Have application of the security mindset with the knowledge. This is the knowledge base. Okay. This is the knowledge base of CISSP, the 36,000 feet view. The security mindset is you need to develop it. Apply this to a given situation, which will be there in the exam. So you have the security mindset, you have the knowledge, you apply it in the exam and pass the exam. Okay. Right. So security mindset, I will help you develop. You have developed it over a period of last whatever experience that you have. Knowledge comes from the book and the sessions which you are going to have with me. Application, how do you apply? Now, this is the application will come from the few practice questions which you should do. Okay. So you need to develop the mindset. Development of mindset comes from experience, your experience, little bit of knowledge, my guidance. Knowledge comes from you reading the book. Okay. Application comes from doing certain practice questions, not doing 10,000, 20,000 questions. Okay. And then booking the exam and going through and delivering the exam. Now, those who are not very experienced or those who do not belong to the IT security or information security domain, I recommend that you read the CyBEX first time as a storybook to understand what is there. Okay. This is the first reading. Second reading should be your concentrated effort reading. This is where you're going to read the CyBEX and try to understand the entire things which are there. You have to understand each and every topic. This is where you see what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. Right? And finally, you do not work on your strengths, you work on your weaknesses. That means you require 3 iterations of preparation. Okay. Now, this 3 iteration is something which you have to develop on your own. I will help you guys. Okay. This is a standard pattern applicable to anyone. But I have had friends who have read the book once, went to the exam, passed it in 50 minutes and came out. I had students who enrolled with my sessions, went through my the recordings which I provided for self-preparation. They went through it. And by the time we reached 4th domain, that guy passed the CISSP exam. Said, sir, I didn't have time. I couldn't prolong it so further. I put my entire energy. I went through your recording sessions and I gave the exam and I passed. I don't want to attend any more live sessions with you. Okay. The name of the guy is Kaza Prasad. Right. There are people who have done self-preparation, just asked me my few things and passed. There are people who are not from the security background, have followed this pattern, prepared for 6 months, I've passed the exam, right? So it's all about, what is it? It's all about your mindset and setting the goal. Those who have the goal, please book the exam. You want to be serious for this exam? Book the exam. 90 days, 120 days, 150 days, 180 days, whenever. If you really want to prepare and you want to get the certification, take that risk, book the exam, right? Or the second option is go with the sessions with me, read the CyBEX once, and then judge yourself where you stand. Are you 2 months away? Are you 3 months away? Are you 4 months away? Whenever you feel that you are these many months away, please book the exam. Do not delay it. The moment you delay it, life will keep throwing problems in. It's that's how life is. It will keep throwing problems, and what will happen is we'll miss the track. But if you book the exam, the target is set, then we will motivate ourselves to achieve it, right? Okay. Now, what I ask you to do is first is read CyBEX. Okay. Second time, this is just a shallow read. Second time, make notes. Read CyBEX, make notes. If you are in habit of making notes, most of us do have, right? And third time is you just read your CyBEX plus notes. So this is 3 iterations. Okay. Then you appear for CyBEX third edition practice test. Okay. This is roughly 1300 questions. Okay. Do it only once. Do once only. Why? If you do it twice, you will have a tendency to remember the answers. Then your concepts will not be clear. What will be clear is you will give yourself a false presumption that you're doing well. Okay. Do it only once. Whatever you do right, that means you have understood. Whatever you do wrong is your weakness. Okay. Revise your weak areas. And then once you've done this, then comes a question set called Learns app, and comes your boson. Okay. These are in the last 15 days of your exam. Follow this. This is a scientifically done, we have passed these exams using these set pattern.
So what are the last 2 points you just mentioned?
App called Learns app.
Huh.
Okay.
Okay.
And boson.
So
Not
what is boson?
boson is a set of 5 exams.
Kind of a mock test.
Mock test, yes.
Okay.
I've given it to you guys in your content. It's there.
Fine.
Learns app in the only app which I will recommend you to buy prior to 15 days prior to appearing for your exam. Okay. Other than this, there are a hell lot of content everywhere. Okay. There is Thor Peterson on. There is Thor Peterson. Then there's no end. Okay. I do not recommend Luke Ahmed. It's for very, very naive people. It's for kids from US who, have just entered and have not done. We all have done our basic studies, so we know what we go through, right? Luke Ahmed is like somebody who has just done his high school, and so I don't recommend Luke Ahmed. What I do recommend is Learns app. This is the ISC2's official app. And a second I recommend is boson. Okay. This is more than enough, right? Additional content which you can refer to is Pete Zerger, Exam Cram, and you can also refer to Mike Chappell's LinkedIn sessions. Okay. Last, you can also refer to Thor Peterson on Udemy. Okay, this much is more than enough, guys. You do this much, you'll pass.